Hey there, what's up everybody? It's Nth Dimensional for another production. Today we're talking about Capsuleer Day 18. Eve turns 18 and we're celebrating with an event that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Let's go ahead and jump into the patch notes and see what we're getting. So it says Capsuleer Day 18 event has begun and we're celebrating our birthday. The event runs from yesterday until May 18th. The reason for the event, besides obviously the birthday, the endgame reason is the equilibrium of mankind cultists have been exposed as the instigators of deadly attacks across Empire space, using capital ships and hacked access to high-sec Sino networks. The EOM rogue capital shipyards are a new limited-time combat site that can be found in high-sec, low-sec, null-sec, and wormhole space. Capsuleers are encouraged to bring ships of at least battlecruiser power or higher to face the cultists in these locations. Next is the EOM Sino Network spoofing facilities. They're a new limited time hacking site, so this is data that you can also be found in high-sec, low-sec, null-sec, and wormhole space. These locations are where the EOM have gained access to the ability to open up sinusoidal fields in high-sec space. The easiest versions of both of these sites, so the easy ones can be found in high-sec, with null-sec and wormhole space being the medium difficulty. So they're both equally hard and they're both medium. And then finally, the hardest is going to be low-sec. It's got the hardest sites and the greatest rewards. That said, these are not actually very hard sites. I would just say that the greatest perils of doing these sites in low-sec is going to be other capsuleers, so make sure you watch out for those people. It says completing these sites provides points for a seasonal reward track with new exclusive 18 skins. So much like all the other events, there's the reward track. You do the task, you fill out your little track, and you get some skins for it. It says loot from these sites includes Overseer's effects, limited time cerebral accelerators, skins, fireworks, special time needlejack filaments, and limited time clamor standings. What they're also missing here is that you can also get agency drug boosters. So things like Pyrolancia or Hard Shell do drop from these sites, both the combat and the data sites. But other than that, it looks like a pretty standard list of what we've been able to expect in these event sites. Something that is interesting is these needlejack filaments. What they are is basically just standard needlejack filaments, but they instead are good. So here's a capsuleer. They are instead good for 18 people instead of either like the 10 or the 25. Instead, there's a middle ground of 18, to celebrate the 18th birthday. Woo. I'm a little bit disappointed in this. I expected kind of a more exciting needlejack that would bring us maybe to, I don't know, like a landmark spot or something. Just something a little bit more interesting than a needlejack. And also, these do cease to function until June 8th. So they are limited time. I don't see a whole lot of excitement or use for these, but I guess they're in. Sure, that's nice. And then a new Capsuleer Daily Gift Celebration has begun, running from today until May 18th. Gifts include hundreds of thousands of skill points, new skins, and Society of Conscious Thought ships. So every year, essentially every year, they do give away a set of the Society of Conscious Thought ships, the Apotheosis, the Synesis, Gnosis, and Praxis. It looks like the Omega accounts are going to be getting these ships this year, as well as the Alpha accounts are going to get skins for these ships. And then there's also a few hundreds of thousands of skill points dispersed within these tracks as well. So not bad, not bad. There's a lot of value in this Omega track. So if you're kind of on the fence of being Alpha or Omega, this event definitely might want to tip you over into that Omega status. There is also a exciting 18-plex skin sale. So every day until the 18th, there is going to be a new unknown skin to us, a sell for 18-plex for that skin. Yesterday it was the Myrmidon, the Inner Vanguard skin, and today it was the Rodiva Metaliminal skin. We can go ahead and check that out real quick. Go to the New Eden store. And so these skins could be really worth your while. So make sure you do check out the NES store every day. Maybe find a skin that you particularly like, pick it up for only 18 plex, which is about 50 million ISK, give or take a few million there. So definitely you could find a good bargain there. So definitely I recommend checking that out. So let's go ahead and undock and we'll find a site and I'll let you know when we're there. Alrighty, so we went ahead and found a site. So to note, these sites are level 3 in known space, and they do actually show up as level 4 in wormhole space. So you don't actually need too much scan strength to be able to scan them down. Anything above about 60 will do, so even if you are a new character, you should be able to scan these sites down pretty easily. Anyways, once you find it, it's called the EOM Sino Network Spoofing Facility. You go ahead and warp into it, and this is what you're greeted with. You see a big engineering complex in front, you see some asteroids to your right, a Sino beacon to the top left, and then what we're actually after, this EOM Sino Network Spoofing Facility. It's just got the same name as the site. It's just a singular data can, and you can go ahead and go up to it, hack it, and get your goodies. It's as easy as that. It's very reminiscent of the winter event sites. So let's go ahead and give this a hack. This is a high-sec one, so I kind of expect anywhere between 1 and 5 million ISK. Let's open it up and see what we got. Big money, no whammies. In the box is 6 million. So pretty much what we expected. Maybe a little bit higher than average. We ended up getting an 11th tier overseer effect, a calm dark filament, which is whatever, positron cords, which is whatever, and a carbon. So as you can see, the main thing here is this 11th tier overseer effect. It does take 10 M3, but pretty good. So what can we actually expect to see in these sites? So as I said, high-sec sites, you're generally going to see anywhere between kind of like 1 million to maybe 8 million is where you're topping out. Then null-sec and wormhole sites, these are what I'm kind of least familiar with, but they seem to be paying out anywhere between, on average, 10 million to 15 million, with high payouts up to like 50 million. And then the low-sec sites, these are the most dangerous, but they're all very much the same. The hacking board is a little bit harder in a low-sec site. It's just yellow, though, so nothing too difficult there. And you can expect to get anywhere between 10 million to 70 million. We've actually gotten 70 million on at least 2 of our hacks from the event, and it seems pretty reliable, and we'll talk about that, why that is in a second. And on average, low sec sites generally give about 20 million, maybe even 25 million. So we went ahead and took a look at all of the items that we gathered recently for this event. Let's go ahead and look at the expensive items, so basically the jackpot items for these sites. And you're looking at agency drugs. Pyrolantia and Hardshell dose 4s do drop here. And then we've gotten all the way up to a 16th tier overseer effect. And then it just kind of goes, high level overseers effects, agency drugs, and goes down for what your like valuable items are. For the overseers effects, these are the main thing that you are going to be collecting for the value, which is nice because their value never goes down. You sell it to NPCs, and you can always expect a good chunk of change for these. We've gotten as high as 16th, but we've also gotten as low as 5th tiers overseers effects, but we are seeing kind of a middle ground between probably like 9th to 10th or 11th. Something to note is that you can also get skins in these sites and cerebral accelerators, and these also glamour boosters. So what are those? So cerebral accelerators are basically ways to increase your SP. You should be familiar with these through previous events. The Skins don't have any like current ISK value for a lot of them. There are a lot of new skins, basically ways to make non-navy ships look navy. There's also the versus skins, which are for Society of Conscious Thought ships. So here is a Merlin Caldari Navy skin, an example of what we found. It basically makes the Merlin look like a Caldari Navy skin. So there's also the basic Capsuleer Day Glamour Booster. It says this booster has been produced and distributed by Impetus and Concord to celebrate the 18th anniversary of the first independent Capsuleer licenses. Working much like Social Skill, this highly potent booster provides a 20% bonus to agent, corporation, and faction standing increases. And it does have a shelf life until June 8th, but it looks like it gives you a 20% social bonus for a day is the booster duration. I have not actually used these. I imagine that they do take in your biology effect, and also that if you do happen to get potted during this time, I would imagine that this booster does go away. I'm not confident on that, but just from what I'm reading and what it looks like, I would say this is a 2-day booster with full biology skills that would go away if you do get potted. But it gives you 20% social skill bonus. So super good if you were looking to improve some faction standings, which might be something that you want to do coming up, because these next few events are likely going to be focused on kind of empire going-ons. Cerebral accelerators, I will say that they seem to be dropping more than the previous few events that we've had, but probably less than the winter event that we had. So I think I get a cerebral accelerator maybe every 5 sites. Most of the time it's basic. I believe I've gotten A potent and A extended, but it's all around, at the end of the day, really good loot. So I highly recommend everyone be doing these low sec event sites. It's going to be really worth your time in the Overseer's effects. But let's talk about ship choices, what you want to use to run these sites. The main thing is, because there's a lot of Overseer's effects and it's very heavy, the main thing we want to worry about is your cargo capacity. So this means things like the T1 Explo frigates are going to shine. They have 400 M3 cargo capacity. And then larger ships, such as like a Synesis, has a very large cargo capacity, as well as things like a Stratios, are all good choices. Other than that, the actual scanning is very easy. It's only a level 3 data site. So basically anything above 60 strength will get the job done. You can of course make it easier and quicker if you do have higher than that. So more exploration kind of designed ships will shine in that regard. As for the hacking, it's really quite easy. In high sec, it's just a very easy green board. And low sec, so the most hard sites, are still a pretty easy yellow board. So again, exploration ships will shine in that, but by no means are they required. So even if you just have like a regular ship, you might want to consider just slapping on a scanner and maybe a hacking module or a data analyzer to maybe just pick up a few extra ISK while you're traveling from like mission to mission or system to system. Might even be a good idea there. Quick little talk about the combat sites. It kind of follows a similar thread. From what I've seen, I haven't actually ran any combat sites, but it seems like they suggest a battle cruiser, but you can generally get away with a well-fit pirate cruiser or T2 cruiser, or a kind of less great fit battleship. All of those seem to work. Even in the most difficult sites, the low sec sites, they don't actually seem very hard. Basically, everyone is soloing these sites. It seems all around like people are generally happy with the amounts and payouts that they're getting if they are running those combat sites. So I definitely recommend doing that if that's your jam. Seems like it's going pretty good. And of course, everyone go ahead and make sure you visit us on Twitch. The link is in the description below. give it a like, comment, subscribe on that YouTube. Check us out on Twitch. We stream EVE Online exploration-based content every day, starting anywhere between kind of like 1100 EVE time to 1800 EVE time. And we go for about 3 to 5 hours each day. So before we wrap up, there is one last thing that I want to talk about, and it is the agency track window. And I just noticed this. So as you're doing your event task, which is going to be the combat or the exploration sites, you will finish your tracker. You'll have to claim your reward. Make sure that you do click the claim reward on everything, because there's multiple steps in each site, and if you don't claim it, then basically you have to wait till the next site to do it. It's actually really frustrating. I wish they would just automate this, but make sure you go into the agency, claim your reward, get your points, and make sure you get up on your tracker, and you will end up getting the event skins for, it's the T1 E-War frigates and then the T2 Logi cruisers are the rewards that you're going to get there. So I hope this was super helpful. I hope you enjoy. I hope you make tons of money through this event, and have a great time. See ya later. Bye.